Hey you guys, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Kiara. Welcome back to my tribe. All right, you guys. So I'm not gonna stay on long. I'm just testing out the internet here to see if StreamYard will actually work. It looked like it is working, so that's really awesome. Um, I might have to get a webcam just to give us a better picture, but I wanted to come on and just kind of test out this StreamYard. I know I tried it like a year or so ago when I was going live on the regular, but I wanted to just come and see if this internet could actually support the software. So that's what I'm on here doing right now. I could just give a couple of little tidbits on what my week looked like last week, or this week actually. So far this week, I worked yesterday, and then yesterday I did GYN, OBGYN. So we did a C-section, and then we did I did a C-section, and then I did a um total vaginal hysterectomy. So that was kind of cool. One of the things I will say that I really enjoy about being in the OR is being around educated individuals. So recently, I've been debating on if I want Braylon to go to school with his dad. That's something that his dad is asking for. And so yesterday, I was in the OR with one of the doctors, and she's Middle Eastern, and she was telling me how her dad is, very much on education and things like that. And so he had been reading a book or something on a school that teaches kids how to learn, not so much teach them specific subjects, but teach them actually how to learn. And so, I went home and I looked it up and I sent it over to my son dad because they have multiple campuses. So I was looking at it, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. It is a private school, so it does cost some money, but it's not like a ridiculous amount of money. And I would be okay with paying the amount of money that is the tuition. But when I was talking to her and I came home and I was thinking, I was like, see, this is part of why I enjoy being in the operating room, just being around people that have had experiences and enough money to go through like certain programs and certain educations. And, I can benefit from that from just being around them. So if you look into, step your game up or something like that, the OR, I'm not saying go to the OR to start, getting educated, but being in that environment definitely helps. But anyway, so I just wanted to come on and just test this out. So it seems that it is working. Me using StreamYard allows me to be able to bring you guys in if you want to join the conversation. And I want to be able to share my screen and things like that. Let me just try it and see, you know, if this internet can support the software, because I'm not really sure if it can. So let's just pull up YouTube and see what that does. If it slows this down, then I'll stop. I need to go back over here for a second, and I need to be able to see if both of us are being shown. I don't think both. And if y'all want to drop a comment in the comment section, feel free. Oh, there it is. So it's working. Hey, Crystal. Hi, I'm a tech. Let me see. I'm going to put you on the screen because that's what I can do it with StreamYard. I love it. I'm a staff tech for 15 years thinking about traveling. I stumbled upon your site. Well, welcome to the channel. You should totally go traveling. If you've been scrubbing for 15 years or even been in the game for 15 years, you know more than enough. Um, you got it, girl. Just the problem is not gonna be if you can go to one of these facilities and do the work. you're very much you've been in the game long enough to pretty much have seen enough to know. And then you will still have enough time once you get to these facilities, they'll still teach you a little bit, or you'll have about a week or a few days to at least just kind of get an idea of how things go. But you should don't totally go. You should definitely be traveling at this point because you got more than enough knowledge and skill set to get out here and be able to do this. It's not the easiest thing. I don't think the OR would be your challenge. I think one of the challenges is being away from home and not in a familiar environment. That's what I find my challenge to be, as well as just when you get to some of these facilities, depending on if they have a large amount of travelers or not, sometimes certain facilities, the people kind of be hating on you a little bit just because you're making more money. But that's not always the case. Excuse me, that's just in some cases. A lot of times, once you get somewhere, especially now because it's so short staffed, they'll be happy just to even have some help there. But I say go travel if you don't have any kids or if your kids are older. And even if you do have kids, if you can get a support system set up in place, then I think you'll be okay. Let's see. She says, hold on, guys. Let me remove this for a second. I'm so glad it is working. Oh my God. Okay, so a lot of agencies are calling for local assignments. Local assignments are great. The income will still be a little higher. The problem with saying local is that you won't get the housing stipend, and that's tax free. So if you want to go somewhere that you have never been, and make a couple of dollars while you're doing it, it's awesome. Like I like the experience of going to different places. I'm in a small town right now and I'm loving it. It's a little bit different because it's a little more rural. Not like I'm in the country, but I'm kind of in the country. It's a town versus a city, I would say, but it's a lot more homey here, especially working at the hospital. But I had to leave Florida to be able to make the kind of money that I wanted to make. So I wouldn't like get it. You might have to get out your comfort zone a little bit. Yes, I'm always I scared. Yes, but don't let the fear stop you. Like fear does not get to control how we move, right? So do I get scared? Yeah, I get scared, and I get anxious, and I have like these moments of anxiety, and like, oh my God, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, I'm making enough money to be able to create the type of lifestyle that I want to live. And like, even investing, like I have enough money to pay for all of the living expenses here and in Florida and be able to invest the type of money that I want to invest into different projects. So whether it's the stock market, or if it's digital online businesses, because that's something that um, I like is being online digital businesses. Even real estate, like I'm gonna be getting into real estate here in the next couple of months, as far as not just purchasing the house, but being able to buy tax deeds and own property that way as well. And just be able to educate myself. So when I do go home, I can chill. I don't have to worry about where the money gonna come from. So Crystal says, I started in Florida and now in New York, I feel like I'm ready. You are ready. I can tell you right now, you're ready. Like, it's people that I talk to that's been doing this for a year and I tell them to go travel. Like, it depends on what hospital, like what type of facility you've been at. That's going to determine how much experience or exposure you get. But if you are at a facility that has, a lot of cases, different cases, then go travel. Like I don't want to tell y'all to just be like up and dip and leave your family and friends and things like that. But depending on what your purpose is, like why do you work? If you work to create a better lifestyle for yourself, then go travel because not only will you make the money, you're gonna meet people and you're gonna create it's gonna be experiences that you won't ever get just being in one facility. You're gonna get to meet different doctors, different surgical techs, different first assistants, different circulating nurses. I just learned something here. I done learned a whole bunch of stuff here since I've been here. Hey, Kia. What's up, Kia? So me just being here, you guys, I simple stuff too. Like when we prepping the patient and you have to cut the hair, like sometimes they have hair in certain places and we got to trim that hair, right? So they have a technique here that I was like, oh snap, I'm totally finna take this when I leave, right? So what they do is wherever the tape needs, wherever the they need to shave the patient, put the tape there first, right? Don't shave it first, just put the tape there first. And then lift up on the tape and trim at the same time. And then the hair is stuck to the tape. Y'all, mind blowing, right? Like I didn't even imagine to think about doing anything like that. But the point is, when you go to different places, you pick up different tools and techniques and tricks from other people. And then when you go somewhere else, they're like, oh my gosh, he's awesome or he's awesome. So, I like that kind of stuff. And so I say go travel, honey. I'm in New Mexico right now, so I'm not even close to home. You know what I'm saying? But I will say I had to get out of my comfort zone because I wanted to stay in Florida and I wanted to be able to travel back and forth to Jacksonville, from Miami or from Tampa or whatever and still be home. But once I was able to, get outside of my comfort zone and say, okay, I'm gonna just go wherever the money is and I haven't been in it, let's just see what type of services they need. And it worked out. Like I really can't even, say anything, but it's just when you go to different places, you learn different things and then you get to take those things with you, the experiences with you. Like while I'm here, I'll be hiking, all kind of different things. I wanted to go skiing while I was here, but it's getting warmer, so from what I understand, the skiing is over for the year. But if I make it, like while I'm here, if I do good or whatever, build relationships with the facility, I'll be able to come back, and then maybe I'll get to come ski, or maybe I'll stay until ski season comes again. Who knows? Especially since my son wants to stay. My son wants to stay with his father. His father wants him to stay with him. And if we can figure out the education part and get on the same page, then I might as well just kind of figure out if I'm gonna stay here a little bit longer, if I'm gonna go back to Jacksonville. But as of right now, I'm just enjoying the experience. And so I'll tell anybody to go travel. Like don't get so comfortable with being in a facility that you limit yourself to just what that facility has to offer you, because you're gonna get so much information just from traveling and the travelers that you meet. Like at this facility, it's a ton of travelers, so it makes it a lot more comfortable for me because it's not people looking at you like, oh, she making money, and and coming in as hating because I decided to travel clean across the country to come make some money, and some people can't or don't want to. But being like we don't grow when we're comfortable, right? So you have to get outside of your comfort zone to even be able to see what you're really made of. When I was at home, I was comfortable, like real comfortable, right? And I get here, and when I first get here, I didn't have my car. I didn't have anywhere to stay. Y'all, it was a whole shit show. I'm not gonna even lie, like it was crazy. Let's say Kia Michelle says, does traveling renew your appreciation for? Yes. Well, I can't say traveling, but being able to take a break from being in the OR. And so here I'm a first assistant, but I still have surgical tech tendencies. Like if you a surgical tech and you in my room, you might, luckily the techs that I work with, they love me. They seem like they love me, and they can understand that I went from a tech to a first assist. So sometimes I get, I touch and I grab things, and they working with me on it. So, oh, I see an insurance question now. Y'all know I'm all about financial education. So let's talk about this. Oh, wait a minute. This ain't, I thought I just seen insurance. I got real excited, right? It says, so Crystal says, how many questions does a medical insurance, wait, how many questions? No, I can't read, right? So many questions. How does medical insurance work? How does taxes work? How does when you sick work? How do you handle the haters? Usually the staff that's there. Okay. I appreciate everybody, include my haters, right? So we go, because we need haters to do what they do. And they motivate you a little bit. So don't worry about the haters. Like, we're not gonna worry about them at all. Just do your job and don't worry about them, because that ain't them hating on you is a them problem. That's not a you problem. Now, if they start setting you up and sabotaging you, that's a totally different situation that you might have to deal with, because now they're putting patients at risk. So if they're not putting, patients at risk by not telling you the things that you need or giving you bad information on the case, then we're not going to even address them. Now, if they start putting you in positions where, you might harm yourself or somebody else, then you need to deal with them, right? Now, the medical insurance, I would suggest, so my situation was different because I'm a vet, so I use my health insurance through the VA, but the VA doesn't cover my dental or my vision, so I have to cover those. I would suggest you doing a like not going through the travel agencies when it come down to your medical and health insurance. And I only say that because when you're traveling, you don't stick with one travel agency. Which the ideal would be to have multiple recruiters and have multiple agencies working for you. So it would be hard for me to say, okay, keep your medical insurance with this company, with your travel agency. So you can get health insurance outside of the employer, right? So that's what I would suggest. Do it on your own. Taxes, because you would still be an employee of the agency, you still have to pay taxes. Now, here where I'm at, I was told that as a traveler, you're only supposed to pay taxes if you're here for 9 months. But that's not true. My travel agency is charging me, I'm paying state tax in New Mexico. I'm from Florida, so we don't have to pay state taxes in Florida. And so when I do my income tax for 2022, right, I'll have to do New Mexico state taxes as well. I've had to do this in the past, and typically they give you your W-9 or W-2 form, whatever it is, at the end of the year, and then you just file your taxes. When you're looking at your pay, though, on a breakdown of like a weekly pay, you'll get your hourly rate, so whatever that is, right, plus a meal stipend and a housing stipend. Those are separate, so they don't get taxed because that's not your hourly rate. Your hourly rate gets taxed. Now, the higher your hourly rate is, the more you pay in taxes. That's the game of America, right? That's the capitalism game. So the more we make, the more money they taxes. Sorry, guys. So that's one of the issues that I find with when you start making more money. But if you could, and this is something that I'm working on, is coming up with being your agency, not being a self-employed worker for the hospital, like not a 1099 for the hospital, but coming up with your own LLC, getting your own EIN number, setting up your own business checking account, all those things that are required to run a business, set all that stuff up, and then approaching it from a small business owner perspective versus a contract employee. So right now I'm a contract employee, so I am an employee of the agency, but I'm contracted to the hospital, right, to the medical facility. So I'm treated as an employee when it comes down to my taxes. And that's a problem because my hourly rate went up, even though like your hourly rate can go up, but your meal and housing stipend might not go up, right? So that's a problem because they're gonna tax you. The more money you make, the more you get in tax. So you wanna not pay as much in taxes, right? At least I don't. I mean, I know some people feel like we should be. I don't want to pay nothing in taxes. So what the plan would be to do is to approach it from a small business or business owner perspective, because then what you can do is you can take all of the expenses and all of the things that you are required to that you need to do it. Like I just bought some goggles, some safety goggles. I'll be buying my lead for the X-ray protection when we're doing orthopedic surgery because I do a lot of ortho here. So all of those, my shoes, my compression socks, all that type of stuff it costs money. So I'll be able to write all that stuff off had I been a small business owner. And with a small business owner, you pay all your expenses up front, right? And then you pay yourself a salary. And so the IRS and the government they have a certain it's amounts that they say, okay, well, it should only cost you this amount, this amount, and this amount to run this, right? But if you're running a business, it could cost you, 100,000 or 80,000 to run a business, and then you only get 20,000 as a in salary. And so, with that being said, if you're making $100,000, in a year or whatever, however long you're working, that all of that money goes to you and your living arrangements and how you live versus you being taxed on your hourly rate at like 30 something percent or however much the taxes is. And I do want to do a breakdown on taxes. I'll probably sit down and kind of teach it to myself a little bit better as far as how the taxes for employees are broke down, because when we see taxes, we see, okay, they're taking out this and that, for our when you're making a certain amount of income, right? But the first amount is taxed at whatever percent, and then the second amount is taxed at another percent, and then the third, it's a breakdown. It's not like the whole 100,000 is taxed at 30 percent, right? So this is just another aspect of the game that I'm learning a little bit. And luckily I like business, so because I'm into business, I definitely I will, Crystal. I'm working on it, girl. Like, because I like business, right? So I'm over here like when you're doing business, you want to keep your money. You want to, well, even if you're not doing business, you want to keep as much money as you can without doing tax fraud and tax evasion, right? So I understand as an employee that I'm being taxed at the highest rate. I also understand as as a self-employed or a small business being under 500 employees, that I'm still being taxed at the higher rate. But when you start looking at business, you can start doing S corps and things like that to kind of finesse, where the money goes. So if I'm getting all of my $100,000 of money, right, that I earned doing being a surgical assistant or a surgical tech, whatever, I can say, okay, this amount of money went to this expense for marketing. This amount of money went to this expense for, business dinners. This amount of money, because we go out to eat a lot here. And so, I need to be writing all this stuff off, but you really can't when you're an employee. So you got to approach it from a small business, because then those become expenses, right? And that's where the game changes. So we got these expenses over here. We can rack up $80,000 in expenses and only give ourselves a $20,000 salary or a $25,000 salary. You want to stay within the median for whatever um the earning median for whatever profession you're in. So if surgical techs across the board is making about what 25, surgical techs and surgical assistants are making about $25 an hour, we'll say, which is about, hold on, I'm gonna do a little bit of math on the calculator. So 25 times 40, that's 100,000 a week times 52. That's about $52,000 a year. So I can bring myself under that, and then they gonna get taxed on that. So I can bring myself under that if I play the game right, as far as the small business and that goes. But yeah, I'm working it out, you guys, because I seen my taxes the other day and I was like, oh my God, y'all. When that hurt my feelings, like that hurt. It hurt. It hurt. I ain't gonna even lie. It really did. And so, yeah, you guys, I just wanted to pop in. I'm so glad that this is working. I'm glad. The only thing I need to get is a better camera so I could do that as far as my webcam goes, because we're just using the webcam that's on the computer right now. But I was like, let me go live to just make sure, some of this other stuff that I want to utilize is working. Like this part of it, I definitely want to be able to use. Like I can share my screen. What else was I playing with? If I stop sharing my screen, that happens. What is this? So I think I need to share my screen first. I'm just working through this real quick, you guys. I should have put test on here so y'all would know like what I'm doing. Camera was a right. Yes, all of it. My internet, I mean not my internet because it comes with the facility that I'm staying in right now. But you want everything to be attached right off, right? That's the move. At least that's the move in my book. So let me see if really I do want to do is kind of share with you guys. Let me go back over here. Can y'all see that? Let me see if it's did I freeze? I just froze. Oh, there it goes. I like it like this. LLC teacher can work. Yes, for sure, Crystal. LLC. I know the screen is probably lagging right now because I'm hopping around doing different features, but it should catch up here in a second. Did it catch us up? Let me see. It's lagging, that's for sure. I may have to get a hotspot or something. Not really sure. It's just loading. Hey, that's how wealth keep their money. For sure, Kia. Sorry, you guys. I knew when I started messing with the stuff it was gonna mess up, but I was hoping it wouldn't. So let's do this. Let's stop sharing. Maybe it'll catch back up now. Am I back? I think I'm back now, guys. So I'm sorry about the lagging. I was just trying to see how something works on here. All right, so Kia says, is it gonna show? Like now the whole thing is acting weird. Oh, here we go. Maybe. All right. I thought it was showing. Maybe if I refresh. Um, it says just loading tax loops. Is that gonna pop up? My what you call it isn't showing anymore. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to refresh the screen. I do apologize, you guys. All right, so there, Kia says, it said that's how it said they know all the tax loopholes for sure, and that's part of that. All that was just because it was a group of people that just wanted to keep all the information to themselves. In America, in order for things to really work as a capitalist society, they kind of have to have a lower class and an upper class. They would like for us to believe there's a middle class, but we're gonna call that the working class people. So you got poor people or working class people and in the higher class of people, right? And so the more money you had, the more access you had to information. And so now we all have access to information. So there's not a real reason for us to be poor, especially if you speak in like a lot of people want to, we're gonna put racism in the mix. But right now, I'm not gonna say it's all racism because if you choose to be poor at this point, then that's just a choice. It doesn't have anything to do solely with your complexion, but there are things that are set up against certain groups of people. So I'm not dismissing that. But as far as money go, If you can get access to the information, then you can make the money. So let me see. Crystal says, why is it not? Y'all, I don't want to work. Ugh, what is happening here? So I'll just read it. It says, check out a couple of the tutorials with the people with RVs. They have great ideas. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out the internet thing, right? Because of where I am, it's a little different here. Like I was, y'all. Let me tell y'all. Wait, let me read this other comment that Crystal said real quick because I really wanted to show up on my screen. Like it really should be, but it's not showing. So it says you should do at least. Oh, there you go. Once a week to you should do this at least once a week to insight and motivate people to get back because it's plenty of money out here right now. I'm just okay. This is what I'm gonna say because we have to understand what's really going on too, right? It is money out here, and it's always been money in scrubbing. And I tell people that all the time, like surgical tech, all medical fields have always been in short, is are in demand because it's not enough of it. It's nurses, surgical techs, all of them, right? Except for the ones that are quick and easy to get into. So it's still gonna be a shortage of CNAs, but CNAs not making as much money as surgical techs, right? Or first assistants. So you have to understand that. But what I want y'all to know right now about the economy is that we have the Federal Reserve pumping money into our system right now. And what that means is that it seemed like it's a lot of money out here. But once they stop sending that money out, then a lot of things are going to change. So we're going to see what it's like when they start pumping this money into our system right now. And when I say pumping money, the best way I can describe this, and if y'all watch Wall Street Trapper, if y'all don't watch Wall Street Trapper, y'all should totally go watch his YouTube channel. And let me see if I can type it into I get a lot of information from him. Like I like to watch the Wall Street Trapper. Wall Street. Y'all can't type. I can, but okay, so I'm gonna scroll this across the bottom. Let's make sure that works. Let's see how that goes. That should be running across the bottom here in a second. But go over to his channel on YouTube and he'll tell you a lot of like information as far as what like economics and things like that. But I want y'all to be aware too that when we have the economy being pumped, I've been rocking with yes, right? He's awesome. So he describes like this situation with the Federal Reserve pumping money into our system as like the plug, right? So I don't want y'all to think I sell dope because I don't, but I come from a time where a lot of my exes and some of the guys I used to deal with, like this how they live. And so if you have a supplier of whatever, right? So that the supplier at this moment would be the Federal Reserve. So they're supplying the economy with money. But the economy hot right now. So they got to cut off the supply because like if you was on the street and you hot, then the person who you get in your supply from, they're not gonna keep giving you no supply because you're too hot. Like hot being like you might have too many eyes on you, things like that. And so the Federal Reserve, who is not a part of the government, is pumping money into the system right now. That's the supply. But America, we hot right now. Like we are dead. People ain't working. We hot. So they finna cut the money off to recalibrate the system. And so if you ain't making money right now, like for whatever reason, the money that you're making right now, you're gonna have to go find a way to make some more money. Like you need some more money because it seems like it's money in the system right now, but it's not. Like this is an illusion. It's an illusion. Laugh out year months, our people, we right. I'm just saying because it might be somebody watch this later kid and they be like, "What's she talking about selling dope?" I don't sell dope, but I'm just saying I understand the game. And had I been exposed to that, you if I was exposed to that when I was like younger, I guess, and my parents didn't wasn't in the military, then I might have been in the game myself. But I like business too, so I could see me like going down that road, but I didn't have to. So luckily, I'm in a different space. Sorry, guys. I got all kind of stuff going. I really need to go. Oh, good. Okay. So, anyways, let me finish telling y'all this. So, get out here and get the money while it's out here, and don't just spend the money. So, I have a list of things that I do with my money. I got it right here, y'all. Right here. And I keep it. I know y'all can't see it because it's not, oh, you might be able to see it. Sorry, my phone's going off. That's my coworker doing me a favor. She's awesome. Y'all work with some awesome ass people. Sorry. So I'm not at work today, and I need to turn my timesheet in, and it wasn't ready for me yesterday because I don't have a badge to clock in, so I have to manually put my time in. So I asked my coworker to text me my timesheet. Basically, is what she just did. So shout out to Laura Lee. Thank you, Laura Lee, for doing that. But back to what I was saying, when you come out here and you get the money, make sure you have a plan for the money. Don't just be getting money. You know, we're gonna have to play, some of us might have to play catch up on some things, like maybe getting our what is called emergency fund in order. You know, don't just be out here paying off debt either. Like, yeah, pay your debt off, but put some of your money up into other assets that's creating more interest than what you owe on your taxes. Oh, Kia asked what my schedule is. So I'm working 4 10s right now. So I don't have like a Monday, it's not like set days, but I do work 4 10s. And honestly, you guys, I kind of like the 4 10s because I get a day off in the middle of the week, which today is my day off in the middle of the week. I was on call yesterday. So I'm taking about 2 days of call if it's a weekend, and I'm taking like 3 to 4 days of call because the weekends is 2 days. It's Saturday and Sunday, and then you might have a call during the week. But those 4 10s is really working for me. Yeah, I like that. I like them 4 10s. They doing it for me out here. It gives me time to kind of decompress and rejuvenate in the middle of the week before I hop back into the work week. But this week I worked yesterday and then I'm off today. And so then I work 3 days in a row, right? So on Friday, I'll be tired because that's gonna be 3 days in a row, right? The call, I will say, for surgical assistance, it's a lot more call. Like, I'm on call more, but I don't get called in as much as like the techs do. So the techs getting called in a lot. The surgical techs are getting called in, not a lot, but more than I am. So that there is that. But I do take more call. Yeah, man, I already know, Crystal. I'm like, dang, I'm finna have to do 3 days in a row. But no, yeah, I'm finna do 3 days in a row. And the 3 days in a row finna be, we finna be working. So it's all good. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. Cause it be some days where we have very light days. And so I really can't complain about working hard certain days because that's just what it is. But for them 3 in a row, I like it when it's 2 days, then I get off, and then 2 more days. Or even if I do 3 days on the front end, and then have off on Thursday and then work Friday and then be off on the weekend. Like, I'm cool with that. But what I'm gonna say real quick, and then I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'll definitely try to hop back in. Not try to, but because I have a day off during the week, I can definitely hop on here. I need to go because I was supposed to be meeting up with Tara, one of my other travel people. Seven. Whew, I don't know about no 12-hour shift. Like, I mean, I do them occasionally here because we don't always have another assist to relieve you. So sometimes, like, the person who on call is in another room. Like, that's happened to me too. And so then I'm stuck in the room until, we done with the case. That is not always happening, but it does happen. Excuse me, you guys. But what I want to say real quick before I wrap this up is, you guys, when you get your money, it don't matter how much money you're making or where you're making your money at right now. Look at the debt, put the debt on like a descending or ascending. Okay, put the smallest number at the top and then go down, right? Don't worry about the interest because some people gonna tell you to do the ones that has the most interest first. You can do that, but if it's got more interest and it's like $10,000, like your car loan, you know, it's gonna take you a little bit longer to get to that. But if you start paying off the little stuff, it'll give you some momentum and like it'll encourage you to start to keep going, right? So write a list down of your debt, and from smallest to largest, start paying it off a little bit at a time. But before you do that, take some of that money and put it into something, you guys. The easiest thing that I learned to do was put my money into the stock market. Do not have your money sitting in the bank. I'm gonna say it again. Do not have your money sitting in the bank. I don't care if it's your, like, you can have your if you want to have your emergency fund sitting in the bank. Okay, that's fine. You can do that if you want to, but don't leave your money sitting in the bank. I probably, my emergency fund not in the bank, but I probably should have some emergency funds in the bank. I put all of my money into the stock market. Well, not all of it, but we'll say 50% to 75% of my money that's left over going to the stock market, right? We'll say the easiest ones to invest in would be VOO, which is the Vanguard S&P 500. SPY is another Vanguard, and these are ETFs. So these are groups of companies. So when I say the Vanguard S&P 500, that's the top performing 500 companies, publicly traded companies, in the stock market, right? Put your money in that, because over time, even if the stock market goes up and down, because it's the top performing 500 companies, you're not going to just take a dot. You're not going to lose a ton of money at one time, if you was just investing in one, like the stock market, like Amazon or Google. If you just purchase one company and that company drops, then yeah, you looking like, oh snap, because you not diversified enough. So do the ETFs, Vanguard S&P 500, this SPY. Another thing that you can look into is business. I like digital businesses. I like YouTube, using YouTube as a business. I like building out websites, ebooks, anything like that that you can do digitally, that you can email to somebody, or somebody can log into a web address and get the information from you that you created in some type of way. You get paid for that. I like that type of stuff. Another thing that I enjoy, as far as investing my income, is into education. So I don't go to a traditional school. I don't. That's not how I move. But if that's something that works for you, then do you. But I like audiobooks, ebooks. I like, people that bring value. So if I'm gonna follow you on YouTube or something like that, it's gonna be somebody that I can actually learn something from. I might take a course. This year I'm thinking about taking, not so much taking courses online, but actually going to like master classes and conferences and things like that. So that's what I'm planning with my, as far as my education goes this year. Um, and then the last thing that I'm teaching myself about is tax deed sales. So tax deed sales is where you can you can pay for somebody back taxes, like they lose their property because they defaulted on paying their property tax. Then the county comes in and forecloses on the property, and when it does that, they go to auction and the public can bid on the property. And when you bid on the property, you pay the back taxes, and then it could go up a little bit higher than that. But you can own a property outright instead of having to go through a mortgage. I will be purchasing a house through mortgage this year, so I'll let you guys know how that go. But my play is to purchase more properties through tax deeds. If you also want to get into real estate, but you don't have enough money, then it's this thing called REITs, REITs, that you can purchase through the stock market, and that's a different way of getting into real estate as well. So all of these ways that I just told you guys about are ways that you can invest. I at one point where I'm still a single woman. I have a kid. I don't like to say I'm a single mom because my son has a dad who's involved in his life and does help, as far as being a support system when I need to go on contracts. But I'm not I wasn't ever rich as far as like having billions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in my checking account. I'm a regular person that do regular things. The only thing that I say that I have done that people don't do is take the time to learn something. And sometimes it take a little bit longer to learn something. And I'm okay with failing. I done lost a lot of money in the websites that I done built. I done lost money in the stock market, by being emotional. That's another thing we have to worry about, is like being emotional intelligent instead of emotionally immature. Being emotionally intelligent when it comes to business and the stock market is not worrying about like the stock market is down today and up tomorrow. Like, don't let that move you. As far as business go, like if you mess up in a business and the business doesn't do well, okay, fine, that's fine. But I learned something in that business that I'm gonna take to the next business. Okay, you guys. So that's all I got for you. I need to go because Tara probably like, where are you at? You know, I told her I was gonna be there like hours ago, but I also know that I need to work. And so this is part of work for me, and just sharing and, giving back to the community. I got to get back to YouTube because I got so much information from YouTube that it's only fair at this point for me to be able to pour back into the vessel that, that helped me get to the point where I'm at. All right, you guys. So that's all I got for you. If you like the video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment in the comment section if you're watching this later. And yeah, you guys, I love you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.